the twilight of the gods nears, brother will kill brother. Families will be sundered by murder. 4 ages are afoot. An axe age, a sword age, where shields are cloven. A wind age, a wolf age, where the world falls. No one shall be spared.
Welcome to Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion RPG podcast. Prepare for adventure.
This is Jim with Ragnarok and Roll. We're starting the next story with our characters, which is A Thing by Any Other Name. We're now beginning Chapter 1, but first we're going to cover what everyone did with the experience from the last story.
I spent 10 for Epic Appearance 1, and took the associated knack of Game Face. And I also took an ability score of 1 for Survival, and I will be holding on to 2 points.
I spent 7 points to become a Marksmanship 4.
I am saving my experience points, so I still have 15 to increase my legend later sometime, eventually. Okay, Trixie has spent 8 for the 2-point spell Bona Fortuna, and so I still have 7 points left to spend, but I'm possibly reviewing spending the others on either an attribute or actually more likely an ability at this point. But I'm basically holding on to the other 7.
Okay, Bryn, I spent 3 on Animal Ken and 3 on Craft. So I have the beginnings of both of those. I spent 6 and I've got 9 out of 15 left.
Alrighty, to help set the stage, last we left, you guys were being picked up by a limo and you're taken to the Hotel Protocol. So pretty much as we open, you guys are a little dirty, a little wet, a little smelly from your fishing trip. As you guys pull up in front of the luxurious Hotel Protocol, you notice Thora notices something right off the bat as you pull up. There's a very large, burly gentleman with bright red hair at the entrance to the hotel waiting for you guys.
Oh, that would be Dad. I recognize him.
Pretty much as soon as the car stops and the door opens, as soon as Thora steps out, he comes out and gives her a huge, big hug.
And I give it right back.
Picking her up off the feet and go,
"My, you smell of the ocean and fishing."
I've been fishing. Yeah.
That's my girl.
You know it.
And he kind of gives everybody else a kind of glance and tries to smile.
So Father has got a meeting going on down in the meeting room. If you follow me and this little gentleman here.
And he points over to a gentleman whose name is Stephen, and he introduces himself. He's got a little name badge with his hotel uniform on. Stephen Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
And he's a nice-looking gentleman. He's actually fairly attractive, blonde, blue eyes. And he kind of smiles at all of you and says, Thank you for coming to the Protocol. We are actually quite welcome to have your entire family of the Northmen here. I am a special liaison for the hotel and your family reunion. If there's anything you need, please just ask and I will make sure it's provided for you. Your grandfather is a great customer of ours, and we'd like to make sure you guys feel very welcome. Very happy to help you with anything we can do for you, as well as he kind of looks at your dirty clothes and some of the tactical gear some of you guys are carrying. We can provide laundry services and hotel safes if needed.
Can you open a credit line in the boutique there?
Of course. Just come on to the concierge desk and we can set you up with anything that you need.
Excellent.
And pretty much what he's trying to do, his spiel and work with you. Thor still has Thora in one arm and a big hug. And he's like, shh.
Out of our way, little man. I must take my daughter to see her grandfather.
And he kind of like pushes right past him. He kind of looks back after he's gone past the automatic doors and looks at all of you guys.
Are you coming?
Yes,
To be Gramps? Sure.
sure.
I'm down with that.
Okay, so basically he tells you guys that we're in the we've booked the entire meeting room facility. It's something called the Cindia. It's
Strange name that these mortals give the meeting room.
and the
Father has booked 22 rooms for each of us, so you have your own rooms.
Okay.
And only thing you have to do is just try to keep the noise down.
because
There's been some issues with noise apparently. I don't know what they're about, but they have an amazing buffet for breakfast.
that's all I have to say.
If Thor says it's an amazing buffet, it's an amazing buffet.
And so all of a sudden he takes you in the elevator and you go down to the meeting room, the Cindia, and you notice there's some pictures on the walls that kind of, now for Trixie, she kind of recognizes it since she's a local. She kind of knows just a bit of the stories going on about it. It's basically about a shipwreck that happened offshore.
Almost
really
100
famous.
years ago. Is that the name of the ship, the Cynthia?
That was the name
Yes.
of the ship that sunk. And as soon as Thora starts to look at the picture, your dad's still kind of half having you on one shoulder and still holding you up, just walks right past. And you come up to what looks like would have been a meeting room that could be partitioned into multiple meeting rooms, and you see this big banner saying "Northman Party, welcome to the protocol."
Emphasis on potty.
So, and you notice that each of the doors to it have basically been barred. And they're set up to use one door only at the far end for it.
Gotcha.
Okay, so as you guys get to the hotel to the hotel meeting room, you pretty much hear a loud booming voice as Thor's getting close to the door.
We must ensure that the twilight does not set on Asgard by any means.
And just at that point, Thor raps on the door.
Twilight is in Twilight of the Gods. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you hear some chairs shuffling around inside there, and Thor punches a little code on the access panel, door unlocks, he opens it up, and you kind of notice that code was your birthday.
Yeah! How cool is that? That's sweet.
And
Thor's
door
got
opens
soft
up,
spot.
and you see 5 gentlemen sitting around a nice little conference table. It's got the conference table speakers, and then a very older-ish gentleman, but with well-cut hair and a suit, with an eye patch that's really got nice decorative Celtic knotwork on it, and
Scandinavian knotwork.
and he happens to have 2 large dogs with worker dog handles on the back of the dogs' backs,
Service animals.
and he's basically pointing a laser pointer at this PowerPoint, which has got some different things going on. As soon as he sees you guys, though, he hits the PowerPoint and he hits the wand button and turns off the PowerPoint. What do you guys do?
Do we see anything for it?
You each see one of your parents sitting at the conference table.
Hiya, Pops!
One of yes.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Okay, all your dads nod back. Like Vidar, in Vidar's case, it doesn't make a sound. Just kind of
Dad winks.
like your dad kind of winks, does a little giggle. Uller does this. He's got
What's
this
up?
look like he doesn't feel comfortable here for some reason. You even notice he has actually a sweater on, and you know, all of a sudden,
My dad, it's just fine.
Thor basically says,
Our father, the children have arrived. And
Odin kind of glowers with one eye on each of you, and he basically tells them,
we shall adjourn the meeting for the moment to spend some time with your children.
and he basically goes back to, he's petting the wolves. You notice he goes over to there's a little food table. He grabs himself 2 sandwiches and basically gives them to the dogs. Okay, so while each of you guys get a chance to talk to your parents.
Okay, I go over to Njord and
Who's, by the way, rocking a Hawaiian shirt, shorts, flip-flops.
yeah,
Thor dressed in?
It's
Thor
he's got a
Thor's currently
Margaritaville
got
Jimmy
cargo
Buffett
pants.
shirt on.
Looks like construction boots and a tank top.
So I should.
Okay, go ahead and give me a larceny roll.
You're gonna pick my dad's pocket? You're gonna try. My dad is watching. Hello.
So am I gonna tell?
And
Dad
do I get
about
an
the
extra
shot?
dice for just the...
You can. I
for
mean, what,
the
you
I
guys,
use your balls for
pretty
this?
much all of your parents are breaking up to go talk to you.
Am mean, he's right next to me. Do I get an extra dice for just your balls?
I'll give you an extra dice for stuntery.
Just for sheer balls. Oh, that's a really good roll. Okay.
Oh, it's okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so you pick his pocket.
He's a god, you know.
Okay, and meanwhile, your dad, he's just talking to you, and he's not noticing. If he doesn't notice, he's ignoring it.
Or he doesn't care. Yeah.
And your dad kind of winks and, gives you the gesture, put it back.
I put it back.
Put it back. Okay.
Just for sheer balls, man. Come on. I just picked Thor's pocket. Yeah, and he probably let you.
He's gonna break the hotel.
Okay, so, Trevor, anything you want to say to your parent, to Uller? He's like, the beach. Do I look like I like to go to the beach? And he just kind of looks across the room over to where Trixie and Loki are. Do I look like I enjoy the beach? And, all of a sudden Loki's patting Trixie on the back saying, oh, I love the new outfit. And he looks back and goes, hush, Huntsman. Your only request was that I picked somewhere that you could ski. And you know what? I provided you with just that. I even signed you up for a water skiing competition. And just then Nord's talking to you, and he just looks over at Uller, like, someone who doesn't quite like him. And just goes, yes, Huntsman, I look forward to seeing your skills on my seas.
Your father
Surf's up, fella.
kind of took Nord's wife. Yeah. You guys have your dad and he have a history.
And the gods all seem to have some good-natured, laughs.
Yeah.
It looks like a bunch of folks at a bar having a good time, and all of a sudden Thor just punches you in the shoulder, Thora, and goes,
And I just want to look forward to seeing the beach bunnies and the fishing boats.
Well, I kind of had my fill of the fishing boats right now. No, I gotta tell you that the fish was this big! It's like, and it did not get away! I start telling him all about our fishing trip.
he pretty much calms you down because he looks over at Odin, and Odin's kind of glowering at everybody because you notice he doesn't have a child sitting there at the moment.
Oh, technically he does.
Yeah. Well,
she did not join
not
the party.
Here.
No.
Well,
no, I'm talking about. He's leaving glowering more because he's really a son. I know, yeah. I bitter.
Well, Thor gives you another big burly bear hug, Thora, and then he kind of gives you the look and looks at all of you guys and your parents and goes,
For now, let us grab some sustenance and resume the thing. Vidar and father are glowering again.
So of course Thor goes up and grabs himself like 2 trays, and then he looks.
Would you like something?
Yeah, I'll get. There's a hoagie over there with me. I'll go have a hoagie.
And
I'll just have a salad.
Pretty much they pull a chair out for you guys to sit down, so you guys can join in the into the thing, which by the way is Scandinavian for meeting. Okay, and Odin then proceeds to turn on PowerPoint. Looks like a classical Norse mythology creation story, going all through Ragnarok, but just with no sound. And Odin looks down at all of you because he makes sure he's got a little podium where he stands up even higher.
Oh, he's one of those guys. Has to have his meeting chair just a little bit higher than all the others.
And he looks. Kind of glares at Trixie as she's talking, and Loki has to pat her under the table. Shh.
Children, we have summoned you here to act as protection while we meet and discuss what measures we must take in Midgard to ensure the end of all is abated or at least delayed. Please make do of the accommodations and hospitality we have arranged for you, but please ensure while these doors are closed,
He points off to the security door.
We are not interrupted for any reason.
And you hear a whimper, from one of the dogs.
And please take Kerrie and Frecky out for a walk until our next break for supper.
We're the dog walkers. Hey,
walk
if Odin wants us
dogs.
to walk the dogs, we walk the dogs. If they want us to keep watch of the meeting, we'll keep watch of the meeting and don't let anybody
pretty
in.
much he gestures towards the door, and the dog's already walking towards the door. Which you have a feeling they're not just normal dogs.
Yeah, I kind of had that feeling.
I think I'll stay, watch you, guarding the door. Somebody can walk the dogs.
This from the woman who has animal kin. This from the woman who has animal kin.
Okay, so and outside the meeting area, there is really nice seats and stuff that you guys can sit at.
No, I'm gonna stand right in front of the door.
Okay,
So who's going to walk the dogs? I'll walk the
I'll
dogs.
do it.
so you two are gonna go walk,
We'll
the
walk
dogs.
the dogs.
Okay, Ocean City's got
Not
some
going to
great.
take long.
It's got some great dog walking areas out there, and the
Don't forget the little plastic bags, guys.
Yeah.
so Kane, what do you do?
Grab a seat.
Okay, Trixie.
Yeah, I'll grab a seat. Actually, no, I'm going to hit the boutique real quick.
Okay, so you're
going
heading upstairs to
shopping.
the boutique.
I'm
Yeah,
standing,
not upstairs, it's always in the lobby.
Okay,
So I can get
the meeting room's downstairs.
Downstairs. Yeah.
I'm standing in front of
just to
the...
find something a little more suitable to me.
Okay, so you two take the dogs out by their handles, which, by the way, they seem really smart while you're
Yeah,
talking to them. They proceed to, when they go into the elevator, they sit and turn around and wait for you to join them.
Yeah, they're everything but talking.
Yeah, you get a feeling that these are not
It's
just
like,
dogs.
we're not really walking them, we're walking
You're escorting
with
them past the doors. Okay. So, pretty much, you guys have an uneventful guard duty downstairs. What are you doing at the boutique?
I am trying on some fabulous dresses, and I'm going to pick one that's casual. Well, not casual so much as elegant, yet can be just up or down, depending with the accessories. And I'm going to wear it out of the store and go back to the...
Are you going to pay for it?
I'm charging
Okay.
it to the room,
Oh, okay.
of course.
Okay, so, Frost, Thora, anything special while you're walking the dogs?
Oh, and I have them do my hair and makeup on there, because of course they have
Full service.
organic, the origins. Well, we actually, talk to each other while we're
Okay.
walking with the dogs, because the dogs pretty much know where they want to go.
And by the way, Trevor, the dogs are attracting all kinds of cute chicks. They're like, oh, look at that cute puppy. Can we pet the dog?
And what do the dogs think?
Oh, the dogs are loving it.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
They're like, give me attention. Lick,
They're like-
lick, nuzzle, nuzzle,
Tongue
nuzzle.
lolling out the side.
So much so, Trevor, you think you want a dog someday. Okay.
A hunting dog.
So you guys bring the dogs back from their nice long walk.
Yep.
Okay, so you finish your day at the boutique.
Yes, I look fabulous.
She comes downstairs rocking a new outfit.
The boutique would always be in the lobby. Oh, okay.
Okay. So you guys go to the meeting room, and basically Stephen, the liaison with the hotel comes Skarsgård. He comes out. Is there anything I can do for you guys to make your stay more comfortable?
Move me to another hotel.
That breaks my heart that you say that, sir.
It's not the hotel, it's the family.
Oh, I have family like that. That's why I moved to the States when I was young.
I could use the sparkling water.
Oh, just one moment. I'll go get it. And he literally goes himself to get one for you. And,
I'm liking this.
and pretty much you guys burn the rest of the evening doing that.
Yep.
Waiting. All of a sudden you hear
Oh,
knock.
only she tells us about that Cyndia
yeah,
thing.
do-
Yeah, I'm going to regale them with the local legend and history of the ship and the shipwreck of the Cyndia.
Okay. And what do you tell them?
Well, basically, now this ship was beached about December 15th, 1901, okay, right off of the Ocean City. And basically there was a horrible storm, okay? They got beat that blank out for like 4 days, okay? So when they finally made it to Ocean City, however, the storm didn't let up, and they like got toasted around and dug into the sandbed, or the sandbar, and the ship was stuck there. Now, officials from the port actually rescued them. It took like 2 days for them to get all the people off the boat. Everyone lived, okay, but they found that, the captain was incompetent, yada, yada, yada. But what's the interesting thing is that, okay, now the ship was coming from China, okay, and it left about the time of the Boxer Rebellion, okay, but what's really interesting is there are a lot of people who believe that the ship, now, it was supposed to, at least the manifest said that, like, it was carrying all this, like, manganese ore that they were using for ballast at the very bottom of the ship, which no one has been able to get to over the past 100+ years, because it's just been completely submerged and covered in sand and water, okay, and nobody's been able to get to it. But now, the ballast was supposed to be manganese ore, but at the end of the Boxer Rebellion, they actually believed that, well, it's known fact that there were a number of Buddhist temples that had been pillaged, basically, and many works of art and priceless object art were taken, like statues, and particularly like some gold Buddha, some really big gold Buddha thing, and jade, and lots of, even porcelain, whatever. Okay? And supposedly, since it's coincided that, some people believe that, hey, manganese is like totally, I mean, we have tons of it in the U.S., okay, especially at that time, okay? I mean, there was no need to have extra ore imported, okay, especially to the New York area, okay? So they believe that it wasn't rocks in that ballast boxes and stuff. It was actually these missing art objects. And there have been a few unsuccessful attempts to recover, the stores in that ship, but it's believed that treasure hunters, firmly believe that there's loot to be had. Lots of gold and priceless object art. All you have to do is dive for it. India. I guess. Now, now the ship, you can't even see it anymore. It's totally under the water. I mean, for the longest time, you could still see the prow, bow, whatever. Okay? But now it's like some New Jersey, historical site, whatever. But so nobody goes there
right now. Yeah, it's protected, I guess. But
could it have treasure?
Everyone wonders. Could be. At least that's what the local legend says.
When was the last time somebody dived it?
I think it was like the 79, something, 61. 60s, 69, something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a plaque here somewhere,
Okay, so you guys pretty much spend the next, hour or two waiting, and all of a sudden you notice, after your sparkling, water was brought to you, a few hours later, the dinner...
Oh, I should have asked for a lime twist. Damn.
And, of course, she instantly runs off to go grab you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, as, dinner comes around, all of a sudden you notice they bring in a lot of carts of food, including a keg, some bottles of mead, all kinds of different wines.
They know what
they basically had a massive spread that would have been great for maybe 100 people.
Wow. They know their audience.
Not even...
Thora could eat half of that anyways, no problem.
Oh, and plenty of beer. Plenty of beer and mead. Okay, well, as soon as, they show up, they hit the little ringer button. Do you guys stop them, or...?
Yeah, they're not interrupted at all.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Leave it here and wait.
Okay, and basically they just, when you say leave it here and wait, they hand you a little thing to sign for.
Go ahead.
Okay. And a little bit after that, you hear, conversations wrap up inside, and the door unlocks from the inside, and they basically say, food is here. And of course, Uller looks back at Thor, and maybe we can get some this night. Okay. So then we're going to be setting the next scene up for This is Supper of the Gods.
Supper of the Gods.
Okay, so when food arrives, they basically ask you guys to bring in the food and come in because it's dinner time. You're going to be joining in with them. So they basically nice, beautiful spread set up. Everybody's got extra drinks. Nobody pouring is just a single drink. Everybody's got 3 or 4 drinks in front of them because you're going to be thirsty. And pretty much the gods are all having small talk with each other. Most of them poking fun at each other. Some of them, you notice, don't like each other. Like Uller and Nord, they make faces when they look at each other. Loki, not that many people try to make eye contact with Loki, but Loki's going out of his way to be in people's vision. He's going.
It.
He's like even doing little obnoxious cell phone photo bombs with people. Because that's the way he is. Okay? So while everybody's sitting, all of you included, eating, getting your fill, Odin, all of a sudden, Thor starts joking and slamming the table with his drinking cup, saying,
I think we need stories! Father, regale us with stories of your journeys as the Wanderer.
And Odin
And I'm
basically...
I travel around and round. I'm sorry.
And Odin basically goes on to some of his earlier travels. And basically, the story starts appearing, after a while going on, he goes...
After having made earth from Ymir's flesh, my 2 brothers and I came across 2 logs. One that was an ash and the other an elm. I gave them breath and life. Vili gave them brains and feelings. And Ve gave them hearing and sight. And this was when we created the first man named Ask and the first woman named Imla.
Basically giving you the creation story of how they brought mankind. Then everybody has a good laugh and talk. There's Dad taking credit for everything again. Knows to put himself first.
He created the internet.
Then Thor, inspired by your fishing story, the fish was that big, tells the time he caught the biggest fish ever.
Oh.
And then...
Wouldn't that be more like you caught a worm?
Hymir.
A worm on a hook?
And then, yes.
And I believe that worm was your brother!
No!
Hymir and I were in his boat out at sea. Hymir was showing off catching a few whales with one hook when I baited my line with the head of an ox. I casted my line to the horizon, and then the monstrous Midgard serpent bit, and I pulled and pulled until the serpent was on board. And then I violently slammed him in the head with my hammer. Then the serpent shrieked, but before I could land my catch, that fool partner of mine cut my line and let the serpent loose.
He's really a baby then, wasn't he? You were picking on
He
him.
was huge, I say! Loki, teach your child what huge means.
Yeah, I'm looking at huge. Go.
And then, of course, Nord's taking his turn, and he's kind of stoked for a moment. He's like, and that's when Scotty was allowed by the Aesir to choose a husband from amongst us.
Oh,
But
Dad.
given the stipulation that she could not see any part of them but their feet, thanks to Loki, and Loki kind of snickers. Expecting to choose the god Balder, and Nord kind of looks around that Balder's not here, and he puts his flip-flop feet up on the table. I was selected for my beauteousness on my feet, and he puts his big feet, and you can probably see sand falling off them. Instead, Scaldy picked myself for my beauty, and he gets kind of puffed up, old school goddish, and wiggled his pretty little toes. Then Uller, sitting over there with Frost, kind of gives him a little squinty sideways glance. And he basically goes on to tell his little story of this time he met a maiden skiing out in the mountains with snow. So beautiful was this maiden, her skin white as snow, as fresh laid snow. Her eyes as blue as a frozen lake. And that was when he first met Scotty while skiing and hunting in the mountains.
Oh!
And you just see Nord kind of glower at him when he says that about basically the first booty call him and Scully had.
Dude, your wife is cheating on you.
Poor Dad.
And then,
Never
That's the
has
term,
had a
forced to wear
great
the
luck
horns
with
of a
women.
cuckold. Oh.
and then Loki, kind of snickers and, brings up, a little comment. Then,
Yeah, who did Loki go with to get the horse?
Loki was the horse.
He's still part of a horse.
and at that point, Thor kind of goes, and you see all the gods start laughing. And literally, Trixie can feel the heat pouring off Loki at this moment. His cheeks flush. He's not pleasant. And then he goes on to tell his little story, looking at Thora, and going, and it was not I, but it was the god Hemdar who put forth the suggestion that in place of Freya, Thor should put on the dresses of the bride, complete with jewels, women's clothing down to his knees, a bridal headdress, and the necklace.
I wonder how they covered the beard.
Thor rejected the idea, yet I, Loki, interjected that this was the only way to get back Mjolnir. After all, I did point out to Thor that without Mjolnir, the Jotnar would be able to invade and settle in Asgard, so we dressed Thor's bride. Of course, I went along with Thor as his maid.
Sung a few bars of "Dude looks like a lady,"
and you just... Thor's there and glass just shatters, and he grabs the next glass and slides it over. And then Odin trying to break the tension that's obviously building up here with these men one-upping each other, and then just takes a swig, and Odin looks at each of you and says, "Now,
Children, why don't you regale us each with a story of your own travels?"
Recent stories or past?
All of our stories from the past.
Well, I was just saying, we tell them about our battle with on our trip up, our battle with the wolf guard, okay? And then when we got here, we could tell them about our interesting...
Kerrie, they want a story from each of you guys. Just a quick little story from each of you guys. Because remember, each of the gods gave a little quick story. So, who would like to begin?
I pull my hat down over my eyes.
It's okay, because your dad had no story to tell, as you noticed. He stayed completely silent. He was just prison style. Had his plate, was guarding his plate, and just.
Well, there was this one time at band camp.
There was this one time at Navy SEAL camp.
Yeah, Navy SEAL camp, and this master sergeant was giving me a really, really hard time. So
I'm sure I want to hear this.
So I took it. You know, it was what we were supposed to do and everything. But then after I completed my Navy SEAL camp, I kind of went back and asked him out for a drink, and we went a few rounds back in the parking lot, and I proceeded to wipe his ass and create a new...
Did you use toilet paper?
Yeah, wipe his ass with the ground.
Yeah, okay.
And
pretty much at that point, Thor elbows Thor and goes,
Going a few rounds, is that current speak for the had sex in the parking lot?
"Why did you wipe?"
I was like, I was starting wiping myself.
No. And by the time we got through, he was in intensive care for about 3 weeks. So that's the last person that ever called me Hildy.
Well, I'm going to tell them about our trip up. I'll say where we stopped at this country spot, the swampy
swamp
spot,
marina, swampy marina.
Okay, and it was a little odd, right? So they were like to gas up, and then, so Bryn walks in there, is going to go pay for the gas and stuff like that. But being Bryn, she's kind of she's not subtle. Right, she busts the door open. Next thing you know, we see what turned out to be a wolf guard putting on the clothes of the dead man, who is the harbor master, I guess you could call it, or whatever, and a few other of the wolf guards. So naturally, of course, I immediately engaged in battle. I pulled my axes and swung them forth. He dodged, but that's okay. Next thing you know, Bryn comes in. She's she brings out her spear. Eventually, Frost is there. He's got his gun, and he's at the end of the dock. Okay, trouble goes off. He hears it. He shoots the wolf guard that's about to set fire to the yacht, blowing it up with the fuel.
Accidentally scratching the yacht.
Whatever.
No, actually putting bullet holes in the
Meanwhile, I'm surrounded by the wolf guard, except for the one that's maybe paying attention to her because I ran right into the thick of it. Dad, you would have been so proud.
Yeah, whipping out those axes.
Between my axes, which they just I cleaved a couple in two, and her spear, she not only speared them through like a shish kebab, she then turned it back into a knife and gutted the fellow. We went along our merry way made it to Ocean City.
Where we met her and Kane.
So what story do you tell him, Frost?
Tell about the giant battle at the beach.
So we're in Ocean City. We're just walking down. A street. All of a sudden, this like half giant, and this giant who just sees us throws a barbell at us.
A massive, gigantic, giant-sized barbell.
We catch it. Then
No, Kane caught it.
No.
No, I helped.
They all work.
He and I caught it. He flipped
Short
over it.
story. He lost a foot.
No, I don't think he lost the whole foot, did he?
It was
It's
dangling.
lame.
Oh, yeah,
It was
he's lame.
dangling.
And we killed his Jotun blood minions.
And of course, at that point, a couple of them laugh and go, that giant didn't have a foot to stand on. And then they kind of gesture towards Kane to tell a story.
Crickets. Yeah, crickets.
Earlier today, we were fishing for a shark. Not your usual sharks.
Diamond.
A large shark. A great, terrible beast. We chummed the waters. We threw the line. It ate the line.
He really threw himself into his work.
It tried to eat the boat.
It almost it did get a few
That's
bites
what-
out of it actually.
Yeah.
Left with little options for bait. I figured, why not use me? And threw myself at the shark repeatedly until it was driven to ground and, well, barbecued from the inside out.
And then Thor kind of looks and goes,
That's a fish fry I'd like to eat at.
Yeah,
It's probably still going.
yeah, I got it. One barrel of gasoline can do a lot.
okay. And then they all start kind of like looking at Trixie.
Well, let's see. Narrow it down to just one story. Okay, well, let's just say a few years back, I threw the biggest party that Ocean City pretty much has ever seen on the boardwalk. And to get the money to do that, let's just say I have the only known picture of Harry Winston and family. He paid an awful lot to get money to get that picture back, and I used it for a nice big shindig.
And
Okay.
of course, your dad kind of gives you the look like, yeah. Okay, so pretty much, you guys have a good dinner, lots and lots of, jockeying, BSing, and small talk. And so finally, when things start petering down, the booze has been running, you all are getting ready to go sleep yourselves. Each of your parents kind of peels you off from, the regular get-together and wants to talk to you guys privately. So, first we're going to start with Nord talking to his daughter, Bryn. So, Bryn, my darling,
Yeah.
I need you to do me a favor.
Okay.
I want to get laid at the best beach party this 4th of July weekend is ever going to see.
Ew.
I want you to throw me the best beach party ever.
Okay,
got the
Dad.
money to do
You
it.
know what? I maybe will try even to get Jimmy Buffett to play.
And he gives you this list of things that he's going to want you to provide.
Okay.
So for food, he wants at least a whole pig roasted at the party.
Luau. Okay.
For drinks, he's going to need lots of mead and lots of wine. People, invite as many people as you can get, especially beautiful women.
Okay.
And she gives you a really awkward... He wants you to set up a altar at the party. And he basically gives you a little breakdown of what he's wanting. Is this nice little centerpiece, basically, on the table made of local sand from the 4 compass points of some
Like a
seashells.
Local sand.
Local sand, like from the north, south, east, west part of the beach. Some seashells of different sea creatures, and some seaweed for the centerpiece.
Seaweed and seashells.
Uh-huh. And let him know once you've got it all set up before the party starts, so he can make sure it's right before the party starts.
Lots
You
of
might be
cute
getting a
girls.
little brother or sister. Okay, then Uller kind of pulls Frost aside.
Leave it right down, baby.
He's been drinking and doing his thing, but your dad's, for a guy who loves games and competition, looks kind of nervous. He's like, Frost, my son, I have a confession to make. I have never water skied in my life.
Well, you ski on snow.
But this is water. It's different. It's slushy and can't be counted on. I've got a ski competition, thanks to Loki, that I have to go to, and Nord is just waiting for me to fall wet in my face.
So, do you want me to beat up Nord?
No. Just
I
listen to what
don't
he
think
wants.
you can, but I need you to be my wingman. I need you to drive the boat for me during the ski competition. Do you think you can do this for me?
I don't know how to drive a boat.
I don't know how to water ski. We're even.
You know somebody who can teach you. She can even assign her guy to teach you.
I've got 2 days before the skiing competition. You gotta help me out with this.
You learn water skiing, I'll learn how to drive a boat.
Yes. So say yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then he's like, I love you, man. We need to go hunting sometime together.
Yes.
Okay, then you guys go off and you have your small talk, and then Thora pulls Thora pulls Thora close and goes,
I have been so enjoying the fishing stories that you've been talking about. You have to do me a favor.
What?
From what I've heard on the television, Jersey Shore has some great shark tours you can go fishing for sharks.
Okay.
I want you to get your friends together and take us out fishing. I heard you guys had a great time last time you went out fishing.
Wait.
Aren't sharks endangered species?
They are when we are.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure, no problem.
We're gonna
okay.
need a bigger boat.
And he basically tells you,
Great. I'll meet you at the docks at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
and
Okay.
it's like midnight, by the way.
So, but this means you're all coming. Y'all are coming because you said my friends.
Well,
That means you.
It looks
You
like
all
I-
are gonna be there.
I
Even
gotta
you, Trixie.
arrange a party, man.
You can do that online on the boat. You can all do this. You're all gonna do this.
Who's gonna
so,
pay for the boat?
am I going
She
to...
is.
No, your dad can rent the boat.
And
apparently-
quietly, when the party's going on, your dad kind of pulls you aside when you're getting a refill of one of your drinks. And he basically reaches into his leather jacket, pulls out a CD. And just nonchalantly looking at you, says, you need to bring justice to the beach, and hands you the CD. And you can see it's apparently a homemade CD.
Alright.
So when you get a chance, you're going to have to pop it into a DVD player and see what's on it. Okay, so basically party keeps going on until about 1 o'clock in the morning. And then...
Dad, if we're going fishing, I gotta get some shut-eye.
One more drink!
Okay.
Okay, so pretty much a little bit later, the gods all break off and go to their hotel rooms and stuff. So what do you guys do?
Go to my room.
I'm getting some shut-eye. If we're going fishing and
We are
I need
going
to plan
fishing.
a party, I
So,
definitely
I
need
don't
to
have
And-
she can help you plan the party.
And
She has
As
all the
you're-
connections.
and you need
As
to
you're
help me
just
learn how
about
drive a
to
boat.
put-
Right.
As
Okay.
Trixie is just about to put her key in the door to the hotel room, you hear behind you.
That's right.
So
You need your
what's
mission.
Hi, Dad.
And just then, Loki kind of reaches behind his back and pulls his shirt up and pulls out a manila envelope.
Oh dear.
Kind of pokes the manila envelope open and pulls out a picture. And he hands you this picture. And it's a picture of a ring box. It's a really intricate wooden ring box. Looks like the type that you'd have for an engagement ring. It's
Like a puzzle box.
No, it's handcrafted ring box. Just the type you'd
Okay.
open up with a ring inside it. But it's really large.
Punch-up box.
Yeah. Well, it's got runes carved into the wood on the outside, and he's basically showing you this picture of a ring that's inside there. It's a really intricate ring that's got, it looks like a serpent swallowing its tail almost, but with two red rubies.
Ring
for
of the
eyes.
Nibelung?
Ring of the Nibelung. I was
Is that-
about to say that.
Rhine.
Rheingold.
Is this Rheingold?
Das Rheingold.
And he kind
The
of
ring
snickers
of the
that you recognize it, and he's telling you that, pulls out another picture, and it's the Hotel Ocean 7 down the boardwalk.
Oh, where our favorite Nick Mancozy is at.
And
Who's
he
still
tells
in love with you, I think, by the way.
oh yeah, it's still
It's
in
only
effect.
been another one day. Yeah.
Still in effect.
How many days?
And he
3.
basically is telling you that I need you to do me a
3 or
favor.
4.
Steal this, don't wear it, and hold on to it for me.
You came to the right girl.
It's going to be at the hotel probably until tomorrow afternoon. After that, someone's coming to pick it up.
Can't wear that ring.
Who's gonna
It's
pick it
ostentatious,
up?
That is.
He doesn't know for sure who's going to pick it up. He just knows that someone's going to pick it up.
What happens if I wear it?
Someone you know and care for will die.
Oh.
Seriously?
Gee.
Don't wear the ring.
Right, all right.
I'm assuming you care for me.
Yeah. Fine.
And he hands you the manila envelope that's got some more information inside it.
Great. Okay, so steal the ring, don't wear it. Who's going to be picking it up? I want to know specifically.
Loki's unaware of who the interested people are that are going to be picking
Well, how
it
am I
up.
going to know it's them? How do I know it's not somebody else who's going to show up for the ring?
Hopefully, you'll be stealing it before they even show up.
Oh, I'm supposed to steal it before they show up.
The details are up to you. I
Because
don't
you're
want.
giving the ring to Loki.
Okay.
You have to know as little as possible because there's more possible deniability.
Yeah, plausible deniability.
Okay,
That's
steal
right.
the ring. Okay. Ocean 7, okay.
Okay.
I know the hotel.
And all I have to say is try to hurt as few people as possible getting in and out, and just don't get caught.
Okay.
It doesn't break my heart if you lose the ring, but just make sure it doesn't go
They
to
don't
the
get it.
interested parties that are looking for it. Don't get it.
Gotcha.
Okay. And pretty much he heads off to his room.
Okay.
Okay, so Kane goes to his room and he puts the DVD that his father gave him in the TV. All of a sudden, you get a few different angles of a security shot. And it looks like a very preppish looking person in a polo shirt, looks like a really nice watch, walk up to a very almost nerdyish looking person, pushes him away from a girl, hits him in the face, and then walks away. And he grabs the girl by the hand and drags her away with him.
Rude.
Then all of a sudden, the footage changes to it looks like a different location, and the guy does the same thing to this guy again. So this preppy gentleman with the polo shirt, who looks well-to-do, is basically sees this guy and pops him in the face almost every time he sees him somewhere. And it shows about 4 different places this happening.
Man,
What a douchebag.
he's gonna be. Oh, I think we all
Picking
want to
on
punch
this
him
guy.
now.
Okay.
And it's one of those, the guy's really distinct looking. He's got, nice, he's got that fattish, droopy hairdo. He looks almost like the younger brother from Heroes.
Peter.
All right, and that's a good place to wrap it up.
Bryn here from Neverwinter. If you don't know who I am, then you are not listening to the D&D Journey of the 5th Edition podcast. Get your keister over there and listen to me, being saved by brave adventurers, powerful wizard, a sweet lass who's a noble, a folk hero of the people, a rogue who knows no limits, and a dwarf who's a cousin and a very good friend. Join us on the D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. You might find some Dungeons and Dragons, because I know there's dragons about.
You have been listening to Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion RPG real play podcast. Thank you for listening.